Chapter number 4, Reproductive Health. You have learned about human reproductive system and its function in chapter 3. Now, let's discuss a closely related topic, reproductive health. What do we understand by this term? The term simply refers to healthy reproductive organs with normal functions. However, it has a broader perspective and includes the emotional and social aspect of reproduction also. According to the World Health Organization WHO, reproductive health means a well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, emotional, behavioral and social. Therefore, a society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs and normal emotional and behavioral interactions among them in all sex-related aspects might be called reproductively healthy. Why it is significant to maintain reproductive health and what are the methods taken up to achieve it. Let us examine them. 4.1 Reproductive Health Problems and Strategies. India was among the first countries in the world to initiate action plan and programs at a national level to attain total reproductive health as a social goal. These programs, called family planning, were initiated in 1951 and were periodically assisted over the past decades. Improved programs covering wider reproduction related areas are currently in operation under the popular name Reproductive and Child Health Care RCH programs, creating awareness among people about various reproduction related aspects and providing facilities to support for building up a reproductively healthy society are the major tasks under these programs. With the help of audiovisual and print media, governmental and non governmental agencies have taken various steps to create awareness among the people about reproduction related aspects. Parents, other close relatives, teachers, and friends also have a major role in dissemination of the above information. Introduction of sex education in school should also be encouraged to provide right information to the young so as to discourage children from believing in myths and having misconception about sex related aspect. Proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence and related changes, safe and hygienic sexual practices, sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, AIDS, etc. would help people, especially those in the adolescent age group, to lead a reproductively healthy life. Educating people, especially fertile couples and those in marriageable age group, about available birth control options, care of pregnant mothers, postnatal care of mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, equal opportunities for the male and the female child, etc., would address the importance of bringing up socially conscious healthy families of desired size. Awareness of problem due to uncontrolled population growth, social evil like sex abuse and sex related crimes, etc., need to be created to enable people to think and take up the necessary steps to prevent them and thereby build up a socially responsible and healthy society. Successful implementation of various action plans to attain reproductive health requires strong infrastructural facilities, professional expertise, and material support. These are essential to provide medical assistance and care to people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, STDs, abortion, contraception, menstrual problem, infertility, etc. Implementation to better techniques and new strategies from time to time are also required to provide more efficient care and assistance to people. Statutory ban on amniocentesis for sex determination to legally check increasing menace of female feticide, massive child immunization, etc. are some programs that merit mention in this connection. In amniocentesis, some of the amniotic fluid of the developing fetus is taken to analyze the fetal cell and dissolved substances. This procedure is used to test for the presence of certain genetic disorders such as Down syndrome, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, etc., determine to survivability of the fetus. Research on various reproduction related areas are encouraged and supported by governmental and non governmental governmental agencies to find out new method and or to improve upon the existing ones. Do you know that Saheli, a new oral contraceptive for the female, was developed by scientists at Central Drug Research Institute CDRI in Lucknow, India? Better awareness about sex related matters, increased number of medically assisted deliveries, and better postnatal care leading to decreased maternal and infant mortality rates. Increased number of couple with small families, better detection and cure of STDs, and overall increased medical facilities for all sex related problems, etc., are indicated all indicate improved reproductive health in the society. 4.2 Population and stabilization and birth control. In the last century, an all round development in various fields significantly improved the quality of life of people. However, increased health facilities along with better living conditions had an explosive impact on the growth of population. The world population, which was around 2,000 million in 1900, rocketed to about 6 billion by 2000 and 7.2 billion in 2011. A similar trend was observed in India too. Our population, which was approximately 350 million at the time of our independence, reached close to a billion mark by 2000 and crossed 1.2 billion by May 2011. A rapid decline in death rate, maternal mortality rate (MMR) and infant mortality rate (IMR), as well as an increased number of people in reproducible age are probable reason for this. Though our reproductive child health RCH program, though we could bring down the population growth rate, it was only marginal. According to the 2011 census report, the population growth was less than 2%, that is 20 per thousand per year, a rate at which our population could increase rapidly. Such an alarming growth rate could lead to an absolute scarcity of even the basic requirement, that is food, shelter, and clothing, in spite of significant progress made in those areas. Therefore, the government was forced to take up serious measures to check this population growth rate. The most important step to overcome this problem is to motivate smaller families by using various contraceptive methods. You might have seen advertisement in the media as well as posters, bill, etc., showing a happy couple with two children with the slogan "Hum do, hamare do," we too are two. Many couples, mostly the young, urban, working ones, have even adopted an one child norm. Statutory raising of marriageable age of the female to 18 years and that of males is 20 to 21 years, and incentives given to couple with small families are two of the other measures taken to tackle this problem. Let us describe some of the commonly used contraceptive methods which help prevent unwanted pregnancy. An ideal contraceptive should be user friendly, easily available, effective, and reversible with no or least side effects. It also should in no way interfere with the sexual drive, desire, and or sexual act of the user. A wide range of contraceptive methods are presently available, which would be broadly grouped into the following categories, namely natural, traditional, barrier, IUDs, oral contraceptives, injectables, implants, and surgical methods. Natural methods work on the principle of avoiding chances of ovum and sperm meeting. Periodic abstinence is one such method in which the couple avoid or abstain from coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle when ovulation would be expected. As chances of fertilization are very high during this period, it is called the fertile period. Therefore, by abstaining from coitus during this period, conception could be prevented. Withdrawal or coitus interruptus is another method in which the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. Lactational amenorrhea, absence of menstruation method, is based on the fact that ovulation and therefore the cycle do not occur during the period of intense lactation following parturition. Therefore, as long as the mother breastfeeds the child fully, chances of conception are almost nil. However, this method has been reported to be effective only up to a maximum period of 6 months following parturition. As no medicines or devices are used in this method, side effects are almost nil. Chances of failure, though, of this method are also high. In barrier methods, ovum and sperm are prevented from physically meeting with the help of barriers. Such methods are available for both male and female. Condoms, figure 4.1 AB, are barrier made of thin rubber latex sheath that are used to cover the penis in male or vagina and cervix in female just before coitus so that the ejaculated semen could not enter into the female reproductive tract. This can prevent conception. Nirodh is a popular brand of condom for the male. Use of condoms has increased in recent years due to its additional benefit of protecting the user from contracting STI and AIDS. Both the male and the female condoms are disposable, can be self-inserted and thereby gives privacy to the user. Diaphragms, cervical caps and vaults are also barrier made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus. They prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperm, though through the cervix. They are reusable. Spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams are usually used along with these barriers to increase their contraceptive efficiency. Another effective and popular method is the use of intrauterine devices IUDs. These devices are inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through vagina. These intrauterine devices are presently available as the non-medicated IUDs. Example, Lipi's loop. Copper releasing IUDs, Copper T, Copper 7, Multilode 375, and the hormone releasing IUDs, Prostastat and LNG20. Figure 4.2. IUDs increase phagocytosis of sperm within the uterus, and the copper ions release suppresses sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of sperms. The hormone releasing IUDs, in addition, makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperms. IUDs are ideal contraceptive for the females who want to delay pregnancy and or space children. It is one of the most widely accepted method of contraception in India. Oral administration of small doses of either progesterone or progesterone estrogen combination is another contraceptive method used by the females. They are used in the form of tablets and hence are probably called the pills. Pills have been taken daily for the period of 21 days, starting preferably within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. After a gap of 7 days during which menstruation occur, it has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desires to prevent conception. They inhibit ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of cervical mucus to prevent or retard the entry of sperms. Pills are very effective with lesser side effects and are well accepted by the females. Saheli, the new oral contraceptive for the female, contains a non-steroidal preparation. It is a once a week pill with very few side effects and high contraceptive value. Progesterone along or in combination with estrogen can also be used by female as injections or implants under the skin. Figure 4.3. Their mode of action is similar to that of pills and their effective period are much longer. Administration of progesterone or progesterone estrogen combination or IUDs within 72 hours of coitus have been found to be very effective as emergency contraceptives, as they could be used to avoid possible pregnancies due to rape or casual unprotected intercourse. Surgical methods, also called sterilization, are generally advised for the male or female partner as a terminal method to prevent any more pregnancies. Surgical invention Surgical intervention blocks gamete transport and thereby prevent conception. Sterilization produced in the male is called vasectomy, and that in the female tubectomy. In vasectomy, a small portion of the vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision on the scrotum. Figure 4.4a. Whereas in tubectomy, a small part of the fallopian tube is removed. Figure 4.4b, or tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or through vagina. These techniques are highly effective, but their reversibility is very poor. It need to be emphasized that the selection of a suitable contraceptive method and its use should always be undertaken in consultation with qualified medical professionals. One must also remember that contraceptives are not regular requirements for the maintenance of reproductive health. In fact, they are practiced against a natural reproductive event, that is conception or pregnancy. One is forced to use these methods either to prevent pregnancy or to delay or space pregnancy due to personal reasons. No doubt, the widespread use of these methods have a significant role in checking uncontrolled growth of population. However, there are possible ill effects like nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, irregular menstrual bleeding, or even breast cancer, though not very significant, should not be totally ignored. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act 2017 was enacted by the Government of India with the intention of reducing the incidence of illegal abortion and consequent maternal mortality and morbidity. According to this act, a pregnancy may be terminated on certain considered ground within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy on the opinion of one registered medical practitioner if the pregnancy has lasted more than 12 weeks but fewer than 24 weeks. Two registered medical practitioners must be of the opinion formed in good faith that the required ground exists. The ground for such termination of pregnancies are: the continuation of the pregnancy would involve a risk to the life of the pregnant woman or of grave injury, physical or mental health, or there is a substantial risk that of the child were born if would suffer from physical or mental abnormalities as to be serious as to be seriously handicapped. 4.3, Medical Termination of Pregnancy (MTP). Intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term is called medical termination of pregnancy (MTP) or induced abortion. Nearly 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world, which accounts to one fifth of the total number of conceived pregnancy in a year. Whether to accept or legalize MTP or not is being debated upon in many countries due to emotional, ethical, religious, and social issues involved in it. Government of India legalized MTP in 1971 with some strict conditions to avoid its misuse. Such restrictions are all the more important to check indiscriminate and illegal feticide, which are reported to be high in India. Why MTP? Obviously, the answer is to get rid of unwanted pregnancy either due to casual unprotected intercourse or failure of the contraceptive used during coitus or rapes. MTPs are also essential in certain cases where continuation of the pregnancy would be harmful or even fatal either to the mother or to the fetus or both. MTPs are considered relatively safe during the first trimester, that is upon 12 week of pregnancy. Second trimester abortion are much more riskier. One disturbing trend observed is that a majority of MTPs are performed illegally by unqualified quacks, which is not only unsafe but could be fatal too. Another dangerous trend is the misuse of amniocentesis to determine the sex of the unborn child. Frequently, if the fetus is found to be female, it is followed by MTP. It is totally against what is legal. Such practices should be avoided because these are dangerous both for the young mother and the fetus. Effective counseling on the need to avoid unprotected coitus and the risk factors involved in illegal abortions, as well as providing more healthcare facilities, could reverse the mentioned unhealthy trend. 4.4, Sexually transmitted infection, STIs. Infections or disease which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are collectively called sexually transmitted infection, STI, or venereal diseases, VD, or reproductive tract infection, RTI. Gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, and of course, the most discussed infection in the recent year, HIV, leading to AIDS, are some of the common STIs. Among these, HIV infection is most dangerous and it is discussed in detail in chapter 8. Some of these infections like hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by sharing of injection needle, surgical instrument, etc. with infected person, transfusion of blood, or from an infected mother to the fetus too. Except for hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infection, other diseases are completely curable if detected early and treated properly. Early symptoms of most of these are minor and include itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling, etc. in the genital region. Infected females may often be asymptomatic and hence may remain undetected for long. Absence or less significant symptoms in the early stage of infection and the social stigma attached to the STI deter the infection and deter the infected person from going for timely detection and proper treatment. This could lead to complications later, which include pelvic inflammatory disease, PID, abortion, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. STI are the major threats to a healthy society. Therefore, prevention or early detection and cure of these diseases are given prime consideration under the reproductive health care programs. Though all persons are vulnerable to these infections, their incidence are reported to be very high among persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years, the age group to which you also belong. There is no reason to panic because prevention is possible. One could be free of these infections by following the simple principle given below. Avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. Always try to use condoms during coitus. In case of doubt, one should go to the qualified doctors for early detection and get complete treatment if diagnosed with infection. 4.5, Infertility. A discussion on reproductive health is incomplete without a mention of infertility. A large number of couples all over the world, including India, are infertile. That is, they are unable to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation. These the reason for this could be many: physical, congenital disease, drugs, immunological, or even psychological. In India, often the female is blamed for the couple being childless, but more often than not, the problem lies in the male partner. Specialized healthcare units, infertility clinics, etc., could help in diagnosis and corrective treatment of some of these disorders and enable these couples to have children. However, where such corrections are not possible, the couple could be assisted to have children through certain special techniques commonly known as assisted reproductive technologies, ART. In vitro fertilization, IVF. In vitro fertilization, IVF fertilization outside the body is almost similar condition as that in the body, followed by embryonic transfer followed by embryo transfer, ET, is one such method. In this method, popularly known as test tube baby program, ova from the wife or donor female and the sperm from the husband or donor male are collected and are induced to form zygote under stimulated conditions in the laboratory. The zygote or early embryos with up to 8 blastomeres could be transferred into the fallopian tube, zipped Zygote intrafallopian transfer. An embryo with more than 8 blastomeres into the uterus, IUT, intrauterine transfer to complete its further development. Embryos formed by in vitro fertilization, fusion of gametes within the female also could be used for such transfer to assist those female who cannot conceive. Transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube, gift, GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer of another female who cannot produce one but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and further development is another method attempted. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection ICSI is another specialized procedure to form an embryo in the laboratory in which the sperm is directly injected into the ovum. Infertility cases, either due to inability of the male partner to inseminate the female or due to very low sperm count in the ejaculates, could be corrected by artificial insemination AI technique. In this technique, the semen collected either from the husband or a healthy donor is artificially induced either into the vagina or into the uterus. IUI, intrauterine insemination of the female. Though options are many, all these techniques require extremely high precision handling by specialized professionals and expensive instrumentation. Therefore, these facilities are presently available only in very few centers of the country. Obviously, their benefits is affordable to only a limited number of people. Emotional, religious, and social factors are also deterrent in the adoption of these methods, since the ultimate aim of all these procedures is to have children. In India, we have so many orphaned and destitute children who would probably not survive till maturity unless taken care of. Our laws permit legal adoption, and it is as yet one of the best methods for couples looking for parenthood.